Well, meantime, Walmart is on track for its worst day since April. That's after posting its first earnings miss in more than 2 years. Still, the company is raising its sales and earnings forecast, even as it acknowledges that tariff costs are on the rise. CNBC.com retail reporter Melissa Repko is here on set. She joins me now. Melissa, it's great to have you. What were your takeaways from Walmart today?
Thanks. There's a couple of different things that stick out to me. One is that so far, Walmart has actually been able to absorb a lot of the costs from tariffs. Not as bad as what it said back in May. And so Doug McMillon and CFO John David Rainey, who I spoke to this morning, said so far they have seen those costs tick up, but they're being very aggressive in keeping prices down. The other thing they said is that the consumer is still pretty resilient and hanging in there. And the only sort of wavering, they said, is CEO Doug McMillon mentioned on the call that with lower and middle income consumers, they are seeing as they raise prices for some of those tariff impacted areas, they're seeing some switching to other categories, some pullback on those units. So perhaps some early signs of what's to come.
You know, investors are debating on whether tariffs are going to be a one-off or whether they're going to be longer term inflationary. I mean, any sort of sense of, even if they're raising prices on some goods or absorbing those costs themselves, whether this is a one-off for them, how are they thinking about it?
What I hear from most retail executives is it's really being phased in. If you think about the way that inventory works for retail, a lot of what is being affected is already on the ground. So they've brought in a lot of even their holiday merchandise. And so we may not see more of this impact until even early 2026. And of course, remember, with China, things are still in negotiation. So it's to be determined what that level ultimately is. And that will have a big impact even as retailers diversify to many other countries.